Hello, Graham from ArionGames here, and as promised, I've now got something special for you. We've been working up to this for a while, and we've now got an actual play of Advanced Fighting Fantasy. This hopefully is going to run, and we're going to be doing a mixture of remote games, like you see now with the webcams, and in-person games. But I'll give you more information on that a bit later. So we're starting a new campaign set in the city of Kish. You can see on the screen there a map of the south of Khul, and in the bottom right hand corner of that map you can probably just about make out the city of Kish. It's on the edge of the desert. It's also on the edge of the inland sea, and there's going to be more released about Kish in the future. It's something I want to develop. But I've been through the characters. I've done short videos of all of them up until now. So if you haven't already seen those, it might be a good idea now to pause, go back and watch those, just so you get an idea of who the characters are. But the characters are living in Kish. They've been living in Kish for a while. And on the day in question, at the start of our adventure, the characters are returning home from the Hanged Pirate Tavern. They're walking across the still busy marketplace, surrounded by traders continuing to sell into the summer's evening. But as your characters near the ancient and crumbling palace that encompasses the rooms you call home, you become aware of a small crowd gathered around a scrawny figure perched upon a broken crate. This woman is dressed in a dark blue robe, has wild blonde hair and mismatched eyes of blue and brown. She appears to be haranguing the crowd around her, but as she spots you walking past, she points at you and screams at the top of her voice. She calls you heretics, and she calls you enemies of Kish, and she turns to exhort the crowd to, as she puts it, purge the city of such human filth. The crowd, with an angry roar, turns to face you just as you reach the door to the ancient palace. So, what do you want to do? There is an angry crowd. It's quite large. It is very angry. There's quite a few people waving weapons in the air. You can hear cries of "Get 'em! Lynch 'em! String 'em up!" coming from the back of it. You even notice several soldiers and city watchmen looking angrily in your direction. What do you want to do?
You can get through the gate for me.
You fling the gate wide. It's a big solid gate, slightly woodwormy and very, very old, but you fling the gate wide. Standing just inside it is your aged landlady, broom in hand. She looks up startled as you fling the door wide. I'll put the map of Kish up just so you can see it. What about the other three? Zilik, Zimrika, Hulan?
Dash through the doorway.
Right, the Black Elf Mage rushes through.
Has anything like this ever happened to us before?
No, it hasn't. As a priest, you're used to a certain amount of respect from the city, the city people. The priests of Glantanka are very well regarded, but today they seem to be looking at you as if you're the worst enemy the city's ever seen.
While the others are going through the door, I'll sort of turn to the crowd and say, "You know me, the priest of Glantanka."
The woman...
What's got into you all?
Well, as you say priest of Glantanka, the woman points at you and screams, "False gods! Heretics!" And the crowd, somewhat unusually, roar agreement.
Okay.
So Zimrika, what are you doing?
Studies God. I'm Zim. I trade here every day. You're mad.
Thief! Con man! They shout.
Oh, bugger, I'll go through the door.
Okay, you rush through the door. followed by
Once
Hulan.
everyone else has gone through, I'll sort of back through the door.
You back through the door and you drop the bar in. It's not the strongest bar you've ever seen. And your landlady turns to you and says, "What's going on?"
Don't
I'm
know.
going to cast lock on that doorway too.
Okay. You turn and point at the doorway, and the ancient lock in it that probably hasn't been locked for many, many years or even decades grinds slowly to lock the door. It'll hold them, but not for too long. The door itself is too rickety. And your landlady says, "What's happening?"
We don't know. What's been going on in the marketplace while we've been out today?
Well, I've heard some woman out there shouting and yelling at the crowd, but I have no idea what about.
When did she arrive?
Oh, lunchtime, mid-afternoon.
Huh.
What are they after you?
I'm going to go and peek through any little gaps in the doorway to see what this crowd are doing.
Surging towards it, bringing large heavy objects to try and bash it down.
This doesn't look good.
What about the militia?
They're joining in.
Grab your
Doesn't look good
things.
at all.
Grab your equipment from your rooms. It's time to escape through the back entrance.
There is a back entrance, is there?
There's no back door anymore. The back entrance to it collapsed about 20 years ago. But she says, I have a secret way out if you're interested. You've been good tenants to me.
What
I
about
think
yourself?
we are interested, yeah.
Yes.
Well, grab your equipment and
Yeah.
then follow me.
We can't fight a crowd that large.
Not a couple of hundred of them,
Well,
no.
can't killing innocent people either, really.
So you grab your gear out of your rooms, and she leads you through to a second courtyard next to yours. This is a bit of a junkyard, general storage, and one of the rooms, the roof has partly collapsed on it, and it houses a huge sow, huge pig. She goes in, waves her broom at the pig, which ambles out into the courtyard. She scrapes back all the straw with a broom, and below it you can see an old-looking trapdoor.
Huh.
And she pulls this up, and as it does, you hear a creak and then a bang as the lock and the main bar on the palace door gives way.
We better get moving.
Inside the trapdoor, you can see you get a waft of damp and pungent air emerging, redolent with the odours of raw sewage, decomposing vegetation and slime. A rickety wooden ladder, white with mould and fungus, stretches into the darkness below.
Here goes nothing. What choice have we got?
Not
Oh,
much.
that seems.
Who is going
What
first?
can I see below?
Below, you can see what looks like foul liquid and possibly a narrow stone walkway to one edge.
Need to light a
No,
lantern
like
this
torch.
way.
Those steps lead down to the sewers.
They do. You weren't even aware that Kish had sewers, but you are now.
Oh, well.
Zim, do you want to go down? You go down first, and I'll guard the rear in case any of these people break through.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll take it. Well, if we've got time to light a lantern.
Yeah,
and then
you
I'll
have.
go down-
Yep.
I'll go down and
So
recce it out.
you climb down the ladder. It's not too far, maybe 10, 15 feet, something like that. The ladder creaks and bits crumble off it as you climb down, but you get to the bottom okay. And you can see you're in an ancient stone-built sewer stretching away in either direction, the floor knee-deep in dark and rancid sewage. Unnameable liquids drip from the vaulted ceiling, and strange chittering echoes in the darkness to both sides.
Do I know which way orientate myself, which way is which?
Well, you think that north, you think that to your... As you come down and you're facing the ladder, if you turned right, that would probably be north towards the sea.
Right.
But the sewage doesn't appear to be flowing. Who is going to be second down the ladder?
I'll go second.
I'm gonna guard the rear with my sword and.
Okay, well at the moment, the
Yeah.
crowd are trying to force their way in past each other and not making great progress into the main courtyard beyond the gates.
Hulan, if you let me come last, I will cover our trail.
So it looks like Joe Barnes next. So Joe Barnes, can you give me a luck roll, please?
All right, Zillik.
You succeed. You get down the ladder okay. Again, bits drop off it and it creaks and one rung half breaks, but you get to the bottom. Who wishes to go third? Hulan?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay, give me a luck roll, please. You make it. Again, you climb down, bits crumble off it, and another rung breaks, but you get to the bottom okay, and you're standing in the knee-deep sewage. And lastly,
Watch your
Zillik.
step, Zillik.
I will.
As you
Right.
turn to go down, one of them shouts, "I think they might be in there!" And the landlady says, "Hurry."
I will shut the trapdoor, then cast an illusion that the trapdoor is the floor. And go
Okay.
down the ladder.
Okay. Yep. So you cast an illusion that it's the floor, and you can hear the landlady sweeping some straw over it as well, just to make certain. Can I have a luck roll, please?
Having watched the others, I'm going to slide down the outside, not relying on the rungs, but friction.
Okay, I'm still going to need a luck roll.
Uh-huh. Here I go.
You get to the bottom, okay.
Lucky?
And so you can all see that you are standing in a tunnel. I will put your characters onto the map. And then I will share it. And we've got the line of sight for the fantasy grounds, so you can see exactly where you are and what is going on. Zimrika. Okay. Has the map appeared for all of you?
Yep.
Yep.
Excellent. Good.
Yep.
So you can see it stretching away to your right as you face the ladder, to your left as you face the ladder.
And right, you think is towards the sea.
You think right is north towards the sea, but the sewage is not flowing. You get the occasional ripple, but it's not flowing.
Can I look for telltale signs of which way it normally flows?
Yeah, give me a straight magic test. Use your intelligence, see if you can work it out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone's got engineering law, so
I can
It's
use
underground law.
yeah, if anyone's got underground law, I don't think they have.
I'll use underground law. It doesn't matter which law I use.
Ooh, yep. Yep, you think it normally flows to the right.
Well, sewers are bound to head towards the sea. I think we should head towards the right.
Okay.
Try and get a boat to get out of town.
Seems like a good plan.
I just want to get out of here
Try and
rather
get beyond
than
the walls, don't we?
don't want to go in there.
Well, I'm going to light another lantern, so we've got two lit.
Okay. So who's going to go and look round the corner?
This way, you say?
Yep.
Well,
Well,
we're, sure we're the only ones staying here. So
There's
they're all right.
yeah, there's some chittering noises and drips and plinks, but there's no evidence that anyone else has come down that ladder for some time.
Right.
And we
Okay.
destroy the ladder.
You can destroy the ladder. Yeah, it's easy enough. In fact, you give it a slight tug and it comes right away from the wall and breaks into about 4 bits.
Quiet though.
You can hear some thumping up ahead as people are standing on the trapdoor, and there's some shouting going on.
We better move before they work
And you
out.
get out
Where we
underneath
go.
it.
Right.
Well, I'll head off. I'll go around the corner first.
I'll follow him.
Okay, move yourself to the corner then, please, Zim. Oh, I thought you were going right.
We are.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on.
Hey,
Oh, right as we're looking at the picture, or right as we came down.
Right
the
as you're
ladder?
looking at the picture. So as you're looking at the ladder, it's right.
I'm going to move up with him then.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that under Joe Bang? Is that a corpse drifting by?
It does look like a body.
Yes.
does a
I always knew this was a rough town.
It's
Kid
actually
as well.
it's
not
actually
even
a dead dog, as it happens, rather than a person.
Blimey, that's an ugly looking dog.
Yes. Well, it is now after it's been floating in the sewers for some weeks. So you peer around the corner, and the stone wall here is interrupted by a mass of bracket fungi and even stranger mushrooms. This is on the right hand side up ahead, climbing in a solid mat to just above head height. Just behind the fungi you can see some ancient woodwork. Shortly beyond this, at the end of the sewer, a huge mass of glistening yellow and white blocks the space above the river of sewage. All sorts of detritus is embedded in the oily mass, which is also riddled with large holes. It is indeed a fatberg.
Oh, I don't like this.
I was all wondering what the holes were though.
Yeah, the holes are more than big
How
enough to
big?
put your entire arm in. Probably big enough to put your leg into.
Oh.
Those holes
about-
where the tracks come through. Stay away.
Yeah. But look, there might be a door up there.
On the
think you
right-hand
can see
side,
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Weapons at the ready then.
Okay.
There's bound to be something bursting out of that pile of grease, isn't there?
Far too
But what choice
suspicious.
do we have?
Is there,
You have any other
that'd
choice?
probably be a bit suicidal, or probably has too damp in it. When I say I'm trying to set it alight, but that might be a bit crazy.
Not
It's probably very damp.
Yeah.
sure that would.
And,
Anyway, let's get through the door.
if it is flammable, highly flammable, for example, is it a good idea being trapped down here with it?
Probably not.
Come
Okay.
on, cousin, walk up with me.
But we might remove the blockage, so to speak.
Yep.
This is no time for civic engineering.
Get a job with the works department. Yeah.
I
Well,
appreciate
yeah,
your-
business isn't great. I'm willing to do anything.
your concern for the city is laudable, but
But given that a good percentage of its population currently want to lynch you, it might be
Yeah.
worth delaying that. So
Yeah, well,
happened.
I'm doing them a favour. They might decide they like me all of a sudden.
well, I think generally, if you're a heretic, I think the fact that you've cleaned the sewers out a little bit is probably not reason enough to not lynch you.
Maybe their problem is that their sewage isn't flowing away. We haven't got to ask them yet.
Possible, but probably not worth the risk of finding out. So move yourself up then, the two of you. So as you get here, you can indeed see to the south of where you two are standing is a door. But at this point, the scurrying and chittering from the fatberg gets louder, and three large rats appear.
Is there somewhere I can hang this lantern?
You can certainly put it on the little stone ridge that's about a foot wide that runs along each edge.
Okay, that'll do.
I think since I don't have a
Make sure we walk
shield,
on that.
I can just hold it, can't I?
You can hold it, yeah.
Because I don't have a shield,
Nope.
so
I've got to find myself, purchase a
Yeah.
shield.
So
I need a shield, man.
I'm going to ask Zim what you're going to do first.
Well, I'm going to draw my other weapon.
Okay. And a rat is obviously going to come rushing towards you, so you want to fight the one that comes towards you.
Well, I'm not going to run. Well, I'm not going to just let it attack me.
Okay, good. And Hulan?
Yeah, I'm gonna hack at a rat when it comes towards me, and maybe yeah.
Okay.
Let's give her that door.
And Hulan? And Joe Barn?
Well, I can't get past them to get. I'm not sure that I've got a. Well, I'll just get ready just in case one of the rats get past them, because I can't. It's not really got a suitable spell to cast.
Okay. And Zilek?
I do nothing.
Okay. You wait patiently at the back. So, Giant Rat 6 here at the bottom. And for those of you not familiar with Fantasy Grounds, by the way, this is to those watching it. In Fantasy Grounds, you can actually randomly number creatures. And the reason for doing that is, if there are 2 more Giant Rats hidden, and these were called 3, 4 and 5, so the players would know that Giant Rats 1 and 2 are hidden away. So by randomly numbering them, firstly you can scare them by having Giant Rats 13, 19 and 22, and they wonder where the other ones are coming from. But also, it means they don't know how many there truly are, because they soon get used to them being random. Anyway, that's just one of those points for those not familiar. So Giant Rat 6 rushes forward and is going to try and bite Zim. So can I have a combat roll, please, from you, Zim?
Or just my weapon.
Yep. Okay. And at the moment, this rule set hides GM rolls, and there's not a way to turn that off, unfortunately. But you hit him, because I only got a 12. So can you roll your falchion damage, please? Okay. That's 3 damage. And for your... Yep, so you hit him with your Chris as well, and the damage on that is enough to drop the rat with a squeak into the sewage, where it floats there.
Cool.
Nice. Giant Rat 3 also rushes forward to fight Hulan. And you get a 13, and my roll is a rather pitiful 10. So you also land a hefty blow on Giant Rat 3. Oh, nice. Dropping it in one blow.
Ha!
Now, you lot may be novices, but you're certainly dealing with these effectively. Now, Giant Rat 1 actually does indeed get past, as Joe Barn thought it might, scurrying along the walkway to one side of Hulan while he's busy chopping that rat into 2 pieces. And Giant Rat 1 tries to bite Joe Barn the Analander. So can I have an attack roll from you, please? Again, a 16, that's a good total, and it completely beats my 12. So we can have a damage roll. Oh. So the rat is badly injured, but it's still on its feet. And that's the end of round 1. So following round, there is one badly injured rat. Looking rather panicky, if I'm absolutely honest. Hulan, what is your plan?
step back there and kebab the rat.
Okay. Zim.
Try and get his door open.
Okay. Joe Barn.
Well, I think I'll continue to hit the rat.
Okay. And Zillik, are you moved to any action, or are you happy being a spectator?
I have got no reason to move off my current location.
Nope. Perfectly sensible. So, if we can have an attack roll first from both Hulan and Joe Barn, remember to add a +1 using the modifier box because you're outnumbering the rat.
Ooh, dear.
Okay, well, it's trying to fight Joe Barn still. And my roll is a good one. It's a 15. But it's not good enough. So Hulan steps forward and swings, but the rat dodges out the way. Unfortunately, it doesn't dodge out the way of Joe Barn, who whacks it again with his sword, knocking it with a loud squeak and a splash into the sewage where it floats still.
Disgusting. Sewer rats.
Yep, they're big, they're ugly, they're diseased, and all three of them are dead.
Let's get back to the.
And while you're doing
down to the
that,
sea as soon as possible.
Zimrika pulls the fungi and mould and lichens and stuff off the ancient wooden door. It's a very solid wooden door, very, very solid, but it is also very, very old. And it is not locked.
Can it be pushed open, or is it
It
just
can.
going to disintegrate?
No, it can be pushed open. So as you push it open, beyond is revealed a 15-foot long corridor. The floor is fairly thick with dust. The walls, however, look fairly dry. It seems that the damp of the sewer has not reached into here. The dust on the floor is completely undisturbed.
I'll try and brush some away with my foot.
Okay, there are good flagstones beneath.
Interesting.
As the-
Out of the sewer.
At the other end of the corridor is another door.
Okay, I'll grab the lantern and move to the other door then.
Okay.
Do we need someone fairly combaty at the back just in case the more rats follow us down the corridor?
Yeah, I'll stand guard here for a moment until you move up.
Okay, I'll follow him down the corridor then.
Okay. And Zillik, are you tucking yourself into the corridor too at this point?
I heard the priest, and I obey my instructions wisely.
And the door is opened. Let me zoom in on the map. You open the door. And beyond, you can see a finely built stone chamber with 2 further wooden doors leading from it. It also has several large pools of a black, oily liquid on the floor, glistening in your torchlight, with several drips landing on it from the ceiling as you watch.
Interesting. Have you seen this before?
No, I mean, it looks very much like lamp oil. Can't imagine why there'd be a pool of lamp oil dripping through from the ceiling, but
Well,
But any idea what's above?
Sorry.
Can we take a guess at what would be above us from where we came in?
the palace.
For which bit?
Well, the courtyard, the main courtyard, but below that courtyard are old and unused cellars.
what
Move
does,
forwards, him. I'm still standing in this sewer.
what does
sorry,
it,
he's moved forward. It's my fault.
what's it smell like?
Smells oily.
I'll slightly push Zillik forward a bit so I can get out of the sewer.
So move yourself down a
Well,
bit.
just tell me obeys your orders, the Zillik.
Come on.
There we go. Are you shutting the door behind you?
Certainly am.
Okay. So there are 2 doors out of this chamber. The stonework looks good. It's well built.
Does it feel like oil?
Feels like oil to the touch, yes.
Why don't we cover those large puddles up so no sparks can touch them?
Well, your lanterns are enclosed. You haven't got torches, which tend to shed sparks.
Are our oil canteens
Yep.
or pots full at the moment?
At the moment they are, yes. So you have a full lantern with a full flask of oil.
Interesting.
Maybe just make sure you don't get any on your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's reasonably easy to step round them if you're careful.
Can I inquire? I've lived in this place for the last so many years.
Yep.
Have I ever encountered above this level an oil storage area or a storeroom or?
No, but it's because if you go up far enough, you'd come out into the main courtyard with the door on that the crowd burst through. Below that courtyard, there is tell of old storage cellars for the palace, but they've been long disused because they're unsafe.
Where
Let's get out of this room now.
Yeah. But which
Any
way?
more? Quickly.
Which way?
South then.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll cover the other door.
You do that, brother,
And-
cousin.
And Zimrica, is it you that's opening the door?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay.
What a fool.
You open the door.
Ooh, another corridor.
There is indeed another corridor, but at the end of this corridor is a T-junction. Facing you from the wall at the end is a huge stone carved demon's head, glaring at you with red glowing eyes.
Is it spurting fire at
A
us?
second later, a gout of flame erupts from the mouth of the demon, billowing down the tunnel towards you.
Shut the door.
Can I have a test for luck, please?
Shut the door!
Well, it depends on
Can't
his...
see this. I'll just scream and slam the door.
Well, they see the reflected light. Can I have a test for luck to see if you get it shut in time?
Oh, God. Mm.
If there was anyone to be at that door at this minute, it's you.
It's you. You slam the door. As you slam the door, you see that the demon head stops spouting flame. So it's not a constant flame, it was a gout, almost a ball of flame that came rolling down the corridor towards you. You shut the door.
Did it feel hot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could feel the heat coming ahead of it.
Okay.
Huh.
Let Zim open the other door.
I'll open this.
Let's use
I'll
his
open this
look.
one. It's alright. I'll open this one, but I'll do it ready to shut it again quickly.
Okay.
Oh, I think that one's probably...
Oh, he's doing it, is he? I might quickly pop the other side of this door and close it.
Oh, ye of little faith. Well, you open that door and find a large wooden chest bound with iron hoops stands against the far wall of this room, covered with dust. The floor is equally dusty with no sign of footprints and no other exits.
It's got to be a trap.
Wow.
Hey, lads. There's a chest. Doesn't look like anyone's been in this room. We could need supplies.
Can I do a calculate? How thick is the dust on the walls, Director?
On the walls, there's
Yeah,
only
on the straight.
there's a thin coating on the walls, but the floors are quite dusty. The floors have got a good centimetre or two.
Yeah, so using my vast amount of knowledge, can I calculate how many tens, twenties, hundreds, thousands of years have passed before to accumulate this much dust?
You would think at least 100.
Okay.
The other thing is, I keep a look at the ceilings, because if this is dripping through...
Yep, it's a fairly well-made stone vaulted ceiling, but yes, it is indeed dripping through.
What? Because it's damaged or just seeping through?
It's seeping through cracks in the stonework, joins in the stonework.
Hmm. Okay.
This is an obvious. Was the door in what we would call the right obviously a door? It wasn't hidden behind a curtain or anything.
Nope, it's a door.
And okay, can I ask that Hulan tells me what he can see, because I can see nothing.
Well, there's a little room here with a chest, which, to be honest, it's a bit suspicious. But we need supplies, so I'm going to go in and have a look at this room.
Okay,
It's a small room. There's a chest.
What are you doing?
Small, well made, dry.
I think we should open it.
Well, it's up to you.
I don't know, unless you can magic it open. Silly.
I can push it.
I can hit it.
There is a lock, a keyhole on the front of it.
Yeah, well, who knows? I'll go over here and open it.
Yeah, well, I'll look through my bunch of keys.
You're casting open spell.
Yep.
There's a loud click, and you can hear the lock move open.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. It's open.
All right.
However,
Step back.
I'm not a test opening type of person.
I will gingerly open it.
Okay, you open the chest.
Crunch.
And
what I did there, Ginger Crunch?
Inside, you find a leather bag that looks very much like it has coins in.
Oh, they're no use to anyone.
Says the merchant.
Says the merchant.
That's it's a very strange thing to say.
Well, you can't sell coinage, can you?
No, but whatever you sell, you get coinage. So it's sort of get rid of the middleman. There is also a small vial of yellow powder.
Oh, I wonder what that is.
There is an engraved animal horn.
Mustard.
And there is a faded and fragile green robe.
Well,
Wait a second. I've never told you this before, but I can detect magic in all items by the very touch of them.
okay.
I'll just look at him and scratch my head because I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I see.
In
No.
the non-initiated terms, if you pass me an object, I will be able to instantly detect by touching it whether it is magical or not. And
How do I know you're telling the truth?
I'll turn my back on him.
Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter if he's telling the truth or not, does it? As long as he's.
Well, no, because I tell my customers every day that all my weapons are magical.
Oh, is that why
Well,
we run out of the city then?
That could be an explanation, yeah. Well, you lay your hands on these items. None of them are magical.
Meh. I'll pick it up and go, meh, meh,
The engraved animal
meh.
horn is
Nah,
a
they're
fair.
all normal.
Well, the animal horn is a bit of a. It's a very fine carving, so it might be worth a bit of money in its own right. The vial of yellow powder is just a vial of yellow powder. You don't think it's magical, but it does. It does make Joban think. I'm sure this has been
Joe
mentioned.
Barnes thinking heavily about this vial of powder. He's heard something about it in the sorcery school.
Well,
Don't quite know, but he's heard something about it.
What horn is it from? What animal is it from?
Can I
Stag,
also
maybe.
tell you the director, I have evaluate as well, so I'll work out how much they all cost as they pass them to me.
Yep.
Well, I
so
can do that.
the robe is probably worthless because it's so old and faded and very, very fragile. The horn is probably worth something like 25 gold pieces.
Yep, I'll pick them up. Not magical, worth 25 gold. Not magical, just a piece of old rubbish. Next.
Yeah, and the yellow powder's not magical, but the sorcerer thinks it's probably a component for later on.
Fair enough.
Well,
This-
I might take the green robe anyway. It could be useful as disguise.
Yep.
Can I use my magic ability to work out what that yellow powder would be a component for?
No, you can, because you don't have sorcery. You can make a magic law roll.
I'll do magic law then.
Yep, that's a success. Now I'm going to have to look it up myself, but I think it
You want to
is.
know?
Is it zip?
Nip.
Nip, that's the one.
So-
Yep. It's the nip spell, which is like a speed spell used
Yeah,
by sorcerers.
When I pick it up and evaluate it and weigh it up in my hands, I say, Joban, you'll need this. It's a component for nip. And throw it to him.
Okay, I'll have it.
Okay, that's fine. And you take the bag of coins. There are 48 gold pieces in there.
Useless.
Well, until we find a merchant, surely.
In this situation, possibly.
Oh,
I
very-
have dismissed them.
Very droll, cousin. Very droll.
My cousin.
You do know I've not been allowed out in public for like the last 60 years.
Well, I can see why.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You see what happens when you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. First day.
Anyway, we can't afford. How much is this 48 coins weigh, Graham?
Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I'll
We're
slip
not
the
gonna
yellow
have
powder
it
in your
long
pocket
enough.
and fill my backpack.
We're not going to have it long enough to make any difference, so it doesn't
No,
matter.
we've got a problem now, haven't we? We either go back or we try and work out to get past this.
Well, I've got an idea. Maybe
Yeah. What? Run?
it activates when you open the door, right?
Yeah.
What if we cut a hole in the door?
Yeah,
What
but
if-
if you're wrong, there's no door to
would-
stop it.
I would
Well-
say leave the door open, but the trouble is that might ignite something.
That is true, but we're not going to open the door. Just cut a hole in. It might
Anyone
work.
who can run the fastest?
Not-
Or we can try and sweep
Tell you
all
what.
the oil off the floor, but that might take all.
And maybe I could push the door. If we could all hide in the room with the chest, and I can push the door open using push as a spell,
Yeah,
and then immediately shut the door next to us. Wait
and
for it
let's
to
let it
burn all
burn
the
the
oil.
oil off.
And then we're trapped in here.
Well, yeah. Well, we could go the other way. Could hide behind the other door.
I'm thinking the other way.
Yeah.
You can jump in
How?
the sewer if you get on fire, then, can't you?
How far below the door sill of the northern door next to the sewer is it? As in, what level is the sewer below the floor level in here?
The sewage is maybe a foot below the level of the floor.
Hmm.
I'm not sure we've got anything to set up a rudimentary pump system.
How watertight is the chest?
Hard to say. You can try floating in it, but
How heavy is it?
the chest fairly heavy. It's
Won't
solid.
be a really good way of conveying the water from.
If you put it on end, how tall is it?
3 feet.
Does it look like it would withstand fire?
Possibly, yeah.
You could cut some holes in board.
Thought. Because if we oil the bottom of it, we'll slide down the corridor.
This is true.
The raging fire.
Or you could hold the chest and just run down the corridor and hold it over the demon face.
And you
That
all
might
come
work.
running past. Yeah, we could try
It
that.
It might not work, but it might work.
Oh, let's try it. nothing ventured, nothing gained.
So who's picking up the chest?
Well, we don't have to pick it up. Just need to put it on the end and
Okay. Yeah.
or slide it.
How high was the fireball? Was it like face height coming down? The
Waist height.
And was it filling the
next to
whole
the floor.
corridor before you shut the door?
Yeah, I
Or-
mean it spread out as it came down.
Mm.
It might have a
What you could
recharge.
do is I could. Oh, who's the smallest?
Can I do a test, right? When you open the door and shut it, that stopped the flame getting through, didn't it?
Yeah, the door stopped the flame getting through.
It might have a recharge time. So I could open it and shut it again,
Oh, timer.
and then see if I open it again straight away, whether it does it again immediately,
You
or
doing
whether
that?
it has to like wait a while to recharge.
So you're opening the door again, yeah?
Wait,
Well, I'll let everyone else get
Wait.
in a position they want to get in before I do
Wait.
this.
wait.
Well, not in the room, I think, is. I'm going to
See,
go.
look, it's trying to tell us something.
Who is intending to run down that corridor with a chest as a barricade?
Not yet. I'm doing a test to see if it's got a recharge.
Can I fit inside fit inside it, right?
What, the chest?
Okay, I'm going the other side of this door and shutting
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I'm going
Well,
outside of the door and shoot it.
When Hulan opens the door,
Mm.
it doesn't flame for several seconds. And then
then-
again it belches flame.
Shut it quick.
You shut it.
And then
Yeah,
wait
find out how long it takes.
like a second or two. Well, until the flame has, I don't know, hit the door or whatever.
Yep.
There's no roar. Wait till the roaring sound of flame has gone.
Yep.
Open
And then
the door again.
okay, you
And
open
then-
it. This time it's only about 2 seconds before it flames.
And then shut it again. What? So it got quicker?
It seems to be a fairly random few seconds after opening it.
It needs a few seconds.
What, like someone's doing it instead of it's being triggered?
No, as in when you open it, it doesn't. It's not like flicking a light switch and the light comes on. It's more like flicking a light switch for a fluorescent tube. Sometimes it flicks straight on. Sometimes it takes a couple of seconds to appear.
Yeah, well, one sounds if it was a trap, that'd be like have the same sequence. But if someone was actually triggering it, it would vary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If someone's
So-
hiding it.
But what
Yeah,
it does
someone's
mean
sat
is,
down here for hundreds of years waiting for us to try and get through.
but it
Yeah.
does mean it is possible to open the door and rush down before it flames if you're lucky or quick.
And
Or
Is the
inside a
flame-
chest.
is it at a constant height?
Yes.
Does it just create like a beam of flame as opposed to a corridor of flame?
No, it spreads out.
Fills the
So
corridor.
by the door, are we talking about it hitting the entire door?
Yes.
On the opposite side to where we are?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like a three-dimensional cone.
That's it. Yeah.
So how big was this chest? 3 foot
About
long.
3 foot. Yeah.
How wide?
A couple of feet.
So really, all we've got to do is open the door, stop the flame for enough time that all of us can pass into the corridor and under the flame, and then the last person can pass through the threshold and shut the door, and it should stop.
Yeah. So one of us will have to run down the corridor with the chest and slam it over the demon face.
Okay, I've got another idea. Is the door on the north wall the same size as the door on the south wall?
Yes.
Right. If we take the door off the north wall, okay,
Yeah,
Then
yeah. I see where you're going.
I will freeze the door to sub-zero temperatures. We open the southern door, put the north door in the corridor. All of us pass into the corridor with the northern door that is made cold, and then shut the southern door and turn it off.
Yeah, that could work.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's start getting that northern door off its hinges. Make her even
Don't do
bigger.
that.
Yeah, it's the hinges are old. It's fairly easy to lever it off. And you're chilling it with the Khul cantrip.
I believe it's called Khul, yes.
Okay.
And it states that it. It make cool or even cold, regardless. If you use on an animate object that may be taken almost to freezing. So that's like, what does wood freeze at? Minus 130?
No, I mean it's freezing, so it's down to almost 0.
So I make the north door ice cold. I'll wait over here. Well, I'll wait here. Someone's got to hold the north door. Someone's got to open the south door.
Well, that'd actually be permafrost, which is about minus 20. Isn't it?
Well, who is carrying the frozen door?
Maybe even 2 of you side by side to make sure that the blast doesn't tilt the door to expose any
Not
flame.
really wide enough.
In which case, either the strongest or the luckiest.
Shall we use the chest in front as well?
No.
Nah, there's going to be too much carrying. They could probably get away with carrying a door as a big shield down there, but a door and a chest?
No, I mean push it with the shield. So, but
It takes one person to open the door, one person to push the cold door through the corridor, us all to pass through, and let's get the order right before we start moving. And the last person through shuts the door, and we hope that the heat doesn't burn through the cold door before the last person enters the corridor and shuts it.
Okay.
So who's carrying the frozen door?
Okay.
like, if one person can do it,
Okay. And who's opening the door to allow them through?
Doesn't matter.
Is that Zimrica?
well, that's going to be this person left to shut it. I take it. Is that
Right.
right?
So Hulan, can you just give me a straight skill roll, please?
Okay. Oh dear.
Success? No problem. So you open the door, you start rushing down, and when you're about halfway down, you can hear the demon head spurt out a gout of flame.
Mm-hmm.
It does flick around the cold door, and you feel a bit hot, but you manage to get all the way to here, followed presumably by who's coming second?
It goes Zim, Joban, me, shut the door.
Okay.
Okay.
And so Zillick comes through, shutting the door after him. Which way are you going? East or west?
We all better decide to go the right way.
Hulan?
Do I need to hold the door up against the demon's thing?
Well, yeah, you do while the others quickly nip past you.
Right, so they have to decide which way they're going then.
Yeah, that's true. So Zimrica, which way are you going?
Oh God! So you left it up to me. Fantastic.
East or west?
Hang on. I've got which is east.
East is to the right on the map.
Right then.
Okay. So Zimrica nips past. You see a door at the end. Joban nips past. Zillick nips past. And then Hulan steps out of the way with the door. The door is now looking fairly charred because you've been so close to the flame. Feeling a bit fragile, but you are past it without any damage at all. Well done.
Good job.
Right.
And yeah, so Zimric, are you opening the door?
Well, we can't really go anywhere else, so we're going to have to, aren't we?
Well, are the flames still coming out?
So a few seconds pass and no flames. Some more seconds pass, no flames.
So we could go back the other way if you want.
Okay.
What's
Does anyone know? We were heading this way to go to the sea, weren't we? So we
We
might
were
as well
trying
carry
to
on
go
heading.
for the dock.
Might as well carry on going that way, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, that dragon's head has been here for 100 years and is still spouting flammable liquid. Let's see if we can break into it and steal some of it.
What if it blows up?
Can we get inside of the door before he does this?
Yeah, I don't want to.
Well, okay, let me touch it to the side and see if it is magical.
Oh, it's magical, yeah.
Right, move on.
So Zimrika opens the door, revealing a smallish room. This room has one other exit. 4 columns of purple light descend from the ceiling, but barely illuminate the room at all. The floor is inscribed with a complex pattern of whorls and circles. The other door is in the south. And I think what we will do, we will leave it there for this session. We ourselves will take a break, and when we come back we will record the second session. So thank you very much, and be sure to join us for the next part to find out quite what these purple lights are, what the swirls on the floor are, whether Zillick actually intends to try breaking into a magical demon head to get to the magical demon juice inside, or whether the others manage to stop him or indeed just run away. And so until next time, thank you very much.